Well, 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 gentlemen. So, it's been a couple days since UFC 313. I think we've all sort of gotten triggered at certain fight results, getting a little too carried away with how it might have turned out. Sometimes you just have a favorite fighter and they lose, or you might prefer one fighter over the other and they lose, and you end up coping about some certain things, which shit. So I've thought about it for a little bit, and maybe there's a good argument Ankalaev won against Alex Pereira upon looking at the stats. I mean, maybe. Let me just lower this camera here. Maybe I can admit Ankalaev outlanded him in the fifth. Maybe I can admit, But, round 3, for some reason on the scorecards we can see here, get the fuck off my screen, you stupid ads. We can see that, two of the judges, they scored round 3 for Ankalaev. Alex Pereira clearly won. I mean, he outlanded him. What more can I say, guys? Even though Ankalaev did get close a few times and probably landed the more damaging strikes as far as the head goes, but Alex did land that head kick. I believe that was round 3. And, control time I actually do think doesn't matter at all, because hugging against the cage shouldn't be rewarded. And you know what? I'm a man of my word, If I'm wrong, I'll gladly admit when I'm wrong. I don't think I said I believed it was a robbery, but I thought Alex Pereira won. That is my initial instant reaction. Time has passed, men have grown, and I've changed my ways, I guess you can say. And I don't even hate Ankalaev, to be honest with you. I just hate the fact that, Alex Pereira did so well. It was one of those things where Alex Pereira did so well in terms of stopping the grappling of a wrestler a lot of Ankalaev fans say he is. So I'm happy with Pereira stuffing the 10 takedowns. How many did it count, actually? Knockdowns, takedowns. 12 takedowns were recorded, eh? Jesus Christ, stopped all of them. Yeah, Alex did really well, And significant strike accuracy, guys. 55% and 52. I mean, who really won? Now, it was a close fight. To be fair, it's the closest championship fight, I think, this year. I think there's no doubt about that. I mean, what really happened this year, right? What was before this? It was DDP Strickland 2. That was a wash. What was before DDP Strickland? Was it Pantoja? No. Was it Pantoja? I don't even remember. It might have been Pantoja Asakura. No, it was Merab Umar, right? I'm pretty sure. That fight was close, and, I'll always claim Merab dominated Umar, mainly because of the optics, but, I just think it's funny to obviously say he dominated when someone thinks it's a close fight, so I get why some fans of the UFC are just going around being like, you really think it was a close fight? Ankalaev dominated him. He didn't. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that, as the wise Asmongold has said. But, yeah, man, it was a really close fight. And while I am very disappointed in Alex Pereira, it just really does suck that Alex was gun-shy the whole fucking fight. It is just depressing to think about. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't the fact that Alex Pereira necessarily didn't get the KO or whatever, or didn't make it as competitive on the feet as he should have. It was just the fact that, there were so many moments where it's just like, yo, Alex, you throw one right hand right here, and you're up on the numbers, you land a clean, body kick here, a head kick here, it's like, you're up on numbers. And even if Ankalaev does block it, you're making him think, you know? And apparently only the great fucking Jan Blachowicz. Only the great Jan Blachowicz can fucking break the legs of Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev. You know, and have a really close fight with what's his face, Alex Pereira. You know, in hindsight, Ankalaev or Jan Blachowicz probably won't be remembered as time goes on because he's 42. Oh my god, man, he's 42. Jesus Christ. You know, and Carlos Ulberg, I think, is predicted to beat Jan Blachowicz, but Jan Blachowicz's losses here are pretty good. Split decision here against Alex Pereira, and a draw against Magomed Ankalaev, where a lot of people thought he won, mainly because of the first 3 rounds. You know, and then the loss to Glover Teixeira, it is what it is, but, you know, the TKO knee injury situation, like, I mean, that looks good, because not a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it was a knee injury. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, he TKO'd Rakic, you know what I mean, when they look at his wins here, especially if you listen to fucking the commentators. Jesus Christ, those commentators are so terrible. They really do need to toggle on and off when you can listen to them, or just have a separate stream, as I completely watch it legally here, guys. You know, I totally watch it legally. But yeah, I'm just disappointed, man. It really is disappointing. After his last performance against Khalil Roundtree, it was almost like, bro, how the fuck does anyone beat this guy? You know? But he got wobbled in the second. He pretty much gets wobbled in the second against every opponent. Some people are saying it wasn't that bad of a wobble. He got wobbled. Alex Pereira definitely got rocked pretty hard. Magomed definitely looked like he was throwing heat, I think, more often than he does. Against Rakic, it literally looked like he didn't throw a single damaging strike, like that was meant to damage a human being. It looked like a sparring match, you know? And maybe Ankalaev is just one of these people that will make his opponent dog shit somehow, you know? Like, maybe he will just force his opponent to always just be worse than him, which is why Paul Craig fraud-checked Magomed Ankalaev. You know, as we all know, Paul Craig's hidden ability, as they say, is to be, you know, he gets stronger as his opponent's skill is increased, you know, and as he's gone against, you know, Jamal Hill, Magomed Ankalaev, obviously Paul Craig is going to look like an elite fucking supervillain when he's in those matchups, but it is what it is, you know, and it does suck. I'm a big fan of Alex Pereira, man. There's a good argument he's the greatest combat sport athlete of all time, and I still think that holds true. Obviously, I think we all agree you do the rematch. There's no reason to have any other contender fight Ankalaev in the meantime, unless you maybe want Pereira to stay out for a year. I don't think Pereira wants to stay out for a year. I know he said he wants to take extra time, but I think he said that every single fight, and he's always back within 4 months, you know? And at least, you know what, something to be said, at least Magomed Ankalaev, like, before the fight happened, did say he does think Alex Pereira does deserve the rematch and everything once Ankalaev becomes champion. And he is a decent shit talker in terms of, like, he will just straight up say, like, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to do this to you in the octagon, you know? He won't sit there and be like, oh, much respect to my opponent, you know, we are going to have a very boring fight. What was the quote that one of the people made him say? Oh, I'm going to send Alex to the tire shop or something like that. I think he said I'm going to send Shama to the tire shop or whatever it was, but regardless, I think Ankalaev can be something. He just, like, needs to speak more and stop just, like, I don't know how to say it. He's got a shit-eating grin, you know? Some people just have that shit-eating grin where they just look at you and it's like, eh. You know, it's just like, like Ilya kind of has that. When he smiles, it just kind of looks fake. Ankalaev kind of has, like, the same thing. Ilya looks more like he's got Botox going on in his face or something. Really weird. With Ilya smiling and everything like that, but at least they're trying to be more of a personality. I can appreciate that, you know. I truly don't mind Ankalaev in terms of, like, I would say style, but, like, man, he really is just a more boring Strickland, isn't he? You know, like, yeah, he will throw kicks sometimes, like a calf kick here and there. But at least Strickland will at least be active in the rounds. You know what I mean? Like, I obviously know people are going to remember that fucking Strickland DDP second as, like, Strickland's most recent fight. But at least, like, he'll be jabbing, he'll be teeping, you know, he'll be throwing crosses and everything. He'll be pressuring his opponent most of the time, like the Paulo Costa, like the, I guess not Jared Cannonier, like the fucking Imavov, like the fucking Adesanya fights that he's all had within the past 2-3 years. So, yeah, Ankalaev is really just a shit version of Strickland, man. Fuck. Like, a more boring Strickland. And I know a lot of people think he's, like, Strickland is boring. I'm a big fan of Strickland's style. You can say what you want. I would, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's got the most entertaining fucking style. You know, sign me up with a Diego Lopez any day of the week over a Sean Strickland fight. But, I do appreciate the fighter. And, man, it does suck. It does really, really suck. Because now it's like, the good part, yeah, John Jones now has to fight Tom Aspinall. That's definitely something that needs to be said. If John Jones is calling out fucking Ankalaev and says he's going to cut all the way down to light heavyweight, now we can just fucking call him a fraud for ducking Francis Ngannou, Mungumbo, whatever the fuck is, whatever the nickname people give him nowadays. You know, ducking Francis Ngannou for those 3 years while he bulked to heavyweight and then can somehow make light heavyweight as he said he wants to go back to. Very weird claims, and I don't see many people calling him out on that, but it's a little fucking weird to needing to bulk all the way to heavyweight for 3 years and then, oh yeah, I'm gonna jump down to light heavyweight to fight Alex Pereira, you know, but, yeah, you know, Ankalaev needs to start fucking also styling on people. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like, there are styles that I think beat Ankalaev. Like, I don't think he can finish Yuri, and I think Yuri could probably finish him. You know what I mean? I think Jamal Hill actually has a good chance at beating Ankalaev, you know? Like, when I say good chance, I'm not saying 90%, you know, 60%, you know, just saying. But I do think Ankalaev probably does beat the Khalil Roundtrees, right? I do think he does beat Jan Blachowicz in a rematch, you know? I do think he does beat, who else is that? Like, the Carlos Olberg, the Volkan Ozdemirs, the Johnny, well, I already beat Johnny Walker, but you get what I mean. Like, he definitely, you know, he already beat Rakic, yeah. Dominic Reyes, like, I think he would probably beat, stuff like that, right? So, I do think Ankalaev will probably be a dominant champion if he does beat the rematch with Pereira. Pereira, to me, just looked like he was off. You can say Ankalaev shut him down for this, that, and the other, but to me, it was literally just like he was loading the right hand the whole time, and every time he did it, he was like trying to use a Marvel Rivals fucking ult. Like, he was trying to use a Groot ultimate, and then he was getting fucking ate by a shark every time. You know, right before it goes off. I am Groot! And then he just gets swallowed, you know? We've all been there. You know, so it's just, it kind of sucks for Pereira. Looks like he just couldn't get any game going. There's more improvements he could make. I've been seeing that, talked about a little bit amongst the community, than Ankalaev could make. Like, Ankalaev realistically just needs to be a bit more active. He's not going to take down Pereira. In fact, Pereira fucking chucking him down at the fourth. Hey, going on the highlight reel, baby. That's what I'm talking about. But when it's all said and done, and let's say even in the rematch, because I could now see it, Ankalaev knocking out Pereira. It's possible. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. Especially judging by the end of the second. Even if Pereira does have to retire via losing to Ankalaev again, because Pereira's going to be 38 by the next time he fights, guys. It's a sad truth, you know? He's been here a short amount of time. It's been a quick amount of time, but you know, we'll always have the good wars and the good highlights, and he did step up for those 2 years and save a bunch of cards, you know, and I think he still holds the record, the new record for the most active champion amongst the shortest amount of time or something like that, as he defended against Yuri, right? Was it a defense? No, it wasn't a defense again. It was beating Yuri, then he defended Hill, then he had 3 defenses, and he was about to have 4. with 5 title fights within the shortest amount of time, something like that. I think he still gets that, just because even if he lost, it's still like attempted defenses, I guess. So holds the record for that. You know, that's one of the things I saw in the build-up. Happy for Pereira's career while he's been here. You know, he's not gone yet, I know, but it is just like, it's going to be hard to pick Pereira in that rematch, knowing what just happened in that fight, you know? Especially when you think about it again, you know? And, I love Pereira, but Father Time takes all. You know, we saw what happened to Bobby Green at the prime age of 38. Pereira could be next on the chopping block in terms of a flatline KO, you know? I just hope Magomed Ankalaev can keep it interesting at light heavyweight. Yes, he is boring as fuck, but he is also young as shit, right? Like, he's really young. 29? 32. He's 32? Well, you know what? When Yuri Prohaska regains his belt here, you know, because Yuri is the younger fighter, slightly younger fighter, you know, which is kind of crazy to think about, Yuri being younger than Magomed. But yeah, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Just want to get my thoughts and opinions out there. Wanted to put up, you know, I retract the statement. It was ever a robbery. Was a close fight, but I think it was a clear Ankalaev fight, you know, similar to like a Merab Umar. I put it roughly on the same level. You know, although, you know, you could argue, right, guys? You could argue here. Where the fuck is the... Well, you could argue here, guys. You know, they had the scorecards wrong. They gave the 5th to Pereira, you know, but round 3, he did better. Just saying, right? Fucking Mike Bell, Derek Clearly, and Sal D'Amato. Sally D is, like, one of the worst judges I've ever seen. I don't know how that guy still has a job. You know, strikes were fairly... what's it called, competitive throughout every round. So, you know, round 1, clear Pereira. Round 2, clear Ankalaev, especially because of the wobbling near the end. Round 3, very close. You could argue Pereira. But I get it. It's not good optics. And, you know, Pereira does like to be on the back foot most of the time. But it is just like, you know, Pereira, clean it up, brother. Come on. Come on. You know, world champion. Fucking championship fight here, you know, clean it up. I want some clean fights going on. You think Pereira would be like sick with a broken toe in this fight and not his last fight with the torn ligament in his foot when he was fighting Khalil Roundtree. But it is what it is at the end of the day. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Made it to the end of the video. I want to thank you for watching, and as always, jawline check. Ooh, I hope you have a good day.